Just minutes ago, Judge Sue L. Robinson has informed the parties that Deshaun Watson should be suspended 6 games. This comes after the 3-day disciplinary hearing in June, the long-awaited ruling for the Browns quarterback. The NFLPA and Deshaun Watson put out a statement late yesterday saying that they would not appeal the ruling, so 6 games will stand from the standpoint of Deshaun Watson and from the NFLPA. No word yet on the NFL, though, of course, Judge Robinson was jointly appointed based on the new CBA, jointly appointed by the NFL and the NFLPA to be in this exact situation. Both parties do have the right to appeal, so we'll wait on the NFL. But for Deshaun Watson, here's what this means. You're not going to see him for the first 6 games, this massive trade that the Cleveland Browns made in the offseason. They did so believing that Watson would be suspended in some form or fashion. They simply did not know how many games. Now at least there is some certainty. So it is going to be, just from a football stance, it is going to be Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback for the first 6 games for the Cleveland Browns. We now know how long Deshaun Watson's suspension should be.
Tom Pelissero is in Berea, Ohio today. We're going to bring him in just a second, but I do want to be clear about how this process works. This was collectively bargained between the NFL and the NFL Players Association. Sue Robinson, as the independent arbitrator, levies the suspension at 6 games. The NFLPA made it clear in a statement last night that they will not appeal the ruling. Everybody said, well, they must be confident that it's not going to be that bad of a suspension. It was more about the process. They want to put the pressure on the NFL to say, hey, you collectively bargained this with us, that we would have independent arbitration for player conduct cases. But the NFL does have the right under the collective bargaining agreement to appeal the decision, and then the appeal would go back to Roger Goodell, the commissioner. We'll get to Tom in a second. Would go to the commissioner, Roger Goodell, or his appointee. So the NFL still does have final say over player discipline if they so choose. Tom Pelissero bringing you in right here. We are catching up on the news as it breaks right here. Tom, what's the status out there in Berea with the Browns and Deshaun Watson, and where they're going to go from here?
Mike, in broad strokes for Deshaun Watson, it is a 6-game suspension levied by former federal judge Sue L. Robinson. I am told no additional fine. One other qualification in Robinson's decision, I was just told, is that Deshaun Watson now must limit his massage therapy only to club-approved massage therapists, people who work for the Browns. Now, in terms of a potential appeal, no word yet from the NFL on whether or not they will appeal this. They, of course, had pushed for a indefinite suspension of a minimum of 1 year for Deshaun Watson. There were settlement talks going all the way back to the hearing in early July. Those resumed in recent days, but the NFL set 12 games. They were not willing to go below that. Also wanted to impose a substantial fine on Deshaun Watson if they were to settle. Deshaun Watson's side said no. It ends up being 6 games. That brings up the possibility here that the NFL could file an appeal. They have 3 days to do so. If they do file an appeal, the NFLPA would have 2 days to respond to that, after which Roger Goodell or his designee would issue a finding. And here's an important thing that you have to understand about this new disciplinary process from the 2020 collective bargaining agreement. The fact findings by Sue L. Robinson are binding. In other words, this is not a de novo new hearing, all going through all the new facts again with Roger Goodell or the designee. This is a process appeal. In other words, the NFL would be limited, if they do appeal, to arguing that because of the number of allegations, something that they argued in the hearing, that no precedent of previous discipline should apply. The NFLPA obviously would disagree with that. If the NFL does in fact appeal, and if the discipline for Deshaun Watson increases, I would fully expect the NFLPA at that point, after firing the warning shot saying they won't appeal last night, would take this to federal court, would create as much chaos as they can into the regular season. So still remains to be seen how this plays out. What we know is, as of this moment, Deshaun Watson is suspended for 6 games. No fine. Does have to get all his massage therapy from the club. Guys?
Yes, the timeline for a potential court case, that could muddy, because we're looking at it right now and we're saying, okay, he's going to miss at Carolina, the Jets, Pittsburgh, at Atlanta, the Chargers, New England. That's how it looks on paper. That's what Sue Robinson said, but there are more steps potentially to come here. We have not yet heard from the NFL. I would expect at some point today that we would. Tom, thank you very much. Bringing in Judy Batista right now. I believe Judy is with us. Judy, your thoughts on, thank you, there she is, your thoughts on Sue Robinson's initial ruling here of 6 games.
Well, it's certainly much lighter, Mike, than the NFL wanted. They wanted an indefinite suspension of at least 1 full year. So this is significantly lighter than that, and it puts the NFL in an interesting spot. Do they appeal? As you guys have mentioned, Roger Goodell has final say still. So do they appeal this and keep it going? And certainly then you risk that the NFLPA will go to court with Deshaun Watson. I'm not sure how much the NFL is worried about that. Look, the NFL is acutely aware that it has a difficult history in cases like this involving player behavior with women, going certainly back to Ray Rice in particular, a situation that was devastating for the NFL. They have tried to do an awful lot over the years to repair the damage from the Ray Rice case. They've gotten really involved in domestic violence issues and support for women. And I do think there has been a feeling all along during this investigation that if Deshaun Watson got off with a slap on the wrist, that a lot of that good work would be undone. And so now the calculation has to be from the NFL. Do they view this as too light to accept, and do they go back and make this a longer suspension for Deshaun Watson? It's a tricky decision because it would prolong the case, and certainly Paul Tagliabue used to say that all good things end things. The NFL does not want this to drag into the regular season, and it probably would if they go to court. So tricky decision coming up for the NFL here.
Yeah, Paul Tagliabue, the one that put an end to the Saints bounty situation years ago to end that one and move on from that one. Judy, good point. Thank you very much. My guess the whole time, was that Judge Robinson was going to say, you guys established a benchmark of 6 games for personal conduct years ago, and that she was going to abide by that. We haven't seen the full ruling so far, but I guess I'm not surprised that it's right on that number. So we shall see again where it goes from now with regard to the NFL potentially appealing it.
And let's review again, this person that was selected by both the NFL and the NFLPA was agreed upon, this former judge, and she was the person that did all of this fact-finding that, as Tom Pelissero pointed out, those facts will remain true no matter what the appeal process is. Again, we haven't seen Deshaun Watson in the entirety of last season. He requested a trade before last season even began. All of these allegations unfolded since January of 2021. We haven't seen him play a snap of football since. He gets traded to the Browns in March of this season. And everyone at this point has been waiting for a decision to come down. And now we at least know the starting block here, which is 6 games Deshaun Watson has been traded for. I'm glad to see that this process has unfolded as the way that the two parties agreed upon. This is the first time this has been utilized in this fashion. And it seems like at this point, the NFLPA has been accepting of the process, and they understand that it is going to be 6 games.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for the PA, it's a standpoint of we bargained and we came up with this process because of what it was like in the past and how decisions were made and what it's come down to. So I think from the perspective of, hey, there was a process put in place. We went through the process. As we sit around at this table, we don't know all of the facts that were found in the hearing and everything that came to light with all of that. So the only thing we can do is look at the process of it. And I think from when this thing first started to where we are now, it went through the whole thing and it went through the whole gamut. And Judge Robinson has made a decision, and I respect the fact that the PA has said, hey, this was a process that we decided and we agreed upon, so we're going to respect it. It'll be interesting to see at this point what the NFL does, because if they do appeal and then the PA appeals, what does that mean for everybody? Now everybody's in limbo. There's a season starting, so this thing could get interesting. And like you said, Mike, it could be something that's dragged out.
And let's hope not. But this news is a win for Watson. This news is a win for the Browns. And you say suspended 6 games. How could it be a win? It's because it could have been a season. It could have been an entire season. And this is a 6-game thing here now. And listen, there's probably people very upset by this development. And it's not over. And as we've talked about it elaborately here, it's not over at all. But there's probably people watching right now who are furious that it's only 6 games. There's probably people watching who are furious that it is 6 games. In my personal opinion, which is what I can offer on this, I've read all the facts. I've read all the accounts. We all have done it for over a year now. We've followed it. In my opinion, things went down that were at best inappropriate, at worst reprehensible, and I think this is light. And I don't think it'll stay like this. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it should.
To review again, the allegations were serious that were levied against Deshaun Watson. It has been through the court system and the police department down in Texas, and then the Browns say they took over in their investigation before they made this trade for him. And now the NFL and the NFLPA has gotten involved. The research and the fact-finding has been thorough. Again, everyone is entitled to their personal opinion in terms of how people were treated and the alleged victims that were affected in this situation. But now we at least, like I said, have a starting block in terms of his 6-game suspension, and we will have more on that coming up here on Good Morning Football with all that we can provide you.